Greetings, everybody. Bless up, bless up, bless up yourself on this beautiful day. Today I'm doing a shout out to my virtual friend Kargo and his wife Francine. On the screen you would have seen the news that Kargo won a settlement against his former producer. Now I'm doing this, I'm taking the time to say that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And of course, when we have a king, we are supposed to give him love and respect. There is no marriage that doesn't go through all kind of tribulation. But when you find two persons who are joined, who are a force, it doesn't matter what happens behind the scene. It doesn't matter how much they fight and argue and disagree and agree. When you put up a united front, no weapons formed against you can prosper. And so I'm talking about Francine and Kargo today. And I'm talking about them because they have set a kind of precedence to some poor people, to some individuals who have, been given the gift to come out here and entertain. And for many years, many decades, poor people, children who clawed their way out of poverty are then taken disadvantage by other folks who consider themselves a bit more privileged or more educated. Now, there's a lot of persons who are not happy that Kargo won this lawsuit. But I'm going to tell you that I'm one of those persons who are happy, because I watched him come out and melt down on social media talking about how he got locked out of the music business. And I don't see no other guy around here who can belt those tunes like Kargo, who can sing like him. Remember, this guy is not, let's put it in quotation, educated, but you don't need education when you have inspiration and when you are then chosen by the Most High. He's not a perfect person, none of us are, but the guy has talent and the guy is wise. He recognizes when he finds a good thing. Now, with all that he was going through, with individuals who he trusted, and unfortunately, because he didn't know this side of business, he allowed sharks to lure him in and have him feel that I'm here for you, only to turn around. Imagine being locked out of dancehall for at least 5 years, not making any money from dancehall. Nobody's playing your music. And you cry out and people start to say, let's give him another chance. And all that time, while he was in, hiatus, he was working on his catalog, working on his music, trying to medicate his hurt feelings by just making music. He didn't stop working. Even though they were ignoring him and locking him out, he kept working and secured himself albums. And when he was talking, people accepted him because they're like, he's not just complaining. The guy is talented and he's still loving the music so much to produce it for so many years, even though he was not being rewarded for it. And then some charlatan called him and say, I am going to support you and help you. And then turn around and the man start to feel the vibes again, start getting hope again. Take the man work after he releases album on iTunes and so on, and people started buying it. He got a cease and desist on his own music. I'm talking about this because I know what it is to be a writer, to publish my work. It's not just one book that I've published. I have other works that I've published that I have not shared with you. I have work that I've published in the United States years ago. I never made a dime. And so I know what it's like. I get very angry when individuals expect you to put the work in, put the time in, put the money in and the effort. And then they come and reap the rewards of it. And so this is why I am speaking on behalf of Kargo and his wife and saying, bless up yourself. Wonderful job, Francine. Sometimes you remind me of myself because around here, we don't accept no disrespect. And we support the men in our life the best way we can. And when it comes to standing up for our rights, equal rights and justice, we are like David and Goliath. We being the David, but we don't back off from Goliath. And so these ones have been doing this to people in the music fraternity for so many years. Now Kargo, the one who they love to hate, Kargo, the one who they say is crazy, even when they're giving him his accolades about winning this thing, they're still shading him. But remember, the greatest ones among us are often called crazy. And so this guy is so humble, and the knowledge he has and the willingness to share that with people so that they can grow too. He's not the only one who's trying to grow. He's always trying to encourage other youths to grow. And I've seen him get disrespected by vloggers, people who he trusts. There's a scenario where I see him trust people to give them an interview, and you would think that their attitude would change towards him, and they go right back around and disrespect the man in the worst way. As black people, you know, we have a way. But remember, when you are disrespecting people, remember that God is watching who you perceive to be God. Because some of you have no idea who God is. Disrespected this man for years and shut him out. And look in his face and tell him that your children are more important. And you're going to take this person's hard work and give it to your children. Nothing no go so. And so I'm going to say, use this opportunity to say to people who find themselves in a place where they're being violated, just stand up for yourself. Stop being a wuss. Then again, when you are around black persons, they're going to tell you, oh, you can't do this. These ones are too rich, or these ones are too powerful. Ain't nothing that can stop you to stand against Goliath when you are in the right. Make sure you understand your right. And though you might not know how to make the first step, research it. And if you have money to put someone on your team to go defend it, go defend it. Now, the difference is, if he was in Jamaica, they would have laughed at him. They would have mocked him. I'm sure they did either way. But there would be no recompense for this guy. But in the United States of America, as much as we want to say, USA is terrible and is bad, there's such great things, so many wonderful things about being in spaces where people understand right and freedoms. Sometimes they violate it, yes, but you can trust that the very system that is often used against you is the same system that you can use, you can go and employ to bring you justice. And that's what Kargo and his wife receive. And I'm happy for them. Bless up yourself, Kargo. Great things are ahead. You're doing your farming now. I love that. And no matter what you do, just know there are always going to be haters. There are always going to be people who are going to be coming out with their poison tongue. Don't pay attention to that. They can't take your gift. They can't take your skills. They can't take your talent. They can't take your mind. And it doesn't matter how much they want to say you're insane. Most of them would never stand up for their rights. They would never. They just talk. They just say certain things and make it seem like, they value themselves, but they don't. Because if they did, they would look at another black man and respect his rights and his properties. And they would also respect the fact that he stood up. You're no different from Marcus Garvey or any other person who stood up. It's the same resilience. It's the same courage that it takes to do that. Be fearful of nobody. Most of you all out here in the world, you're fearful of man, and you're not respecting and fearing God. And the fear we talk that God asks us to have is respect, to be thankful for life, to know that while other folks are tearing you down and abusing you and doing things to you that are painful, you got to turn inwards and turn to the Most High. He'll never fail. They'll never fail. Whomever you perceive to be your God, you are not celebrating that if you have doubts and believe that those who exist outside of you are more powerful than those who created you and them. Okay? So bless up yourself. More of these, pharaohs are going to come against you. Don't pay them the mind, Kargo. You won, and you will collect. Now, that you won, they're not mocking that now. They're saying, oh, will you ever collect? Yes, you will. You will collect what is yours for you and your children. You will. Don't listen to the naysayers. That's just another shade. Okay, fine. So you won this. So will you ever collect? Don't tell them your business. Don't tell them your personal business. Don't talk to them about money. Bless up yourself, everybody. You know, have a wonderful day.
The song we learned in Zimbabwe.